Welcome to the Cowbell Kingdom postgame show. I am James Ham here on the floor of Sleep Train Arena, where the Sacramento Kings snap a 12-game losing streak against the Oklahoma City Thunder, beating the Thunder by 104-83. A very, very good game for the Sacramento Kings, where they got back to the basics. We saw a lot of aggressive defensive play. We saw a lot of aggressive offensive play, leading to massive amounts of free throw attempts. DeMarcus Cousins had every single Thunder big man in foul trouble for most of this game. Darren Collison has an incredible night, 24 points, 7 assists. He goes 9 of 19 from the field, 5 of 10 from behind the arc, but the real where he did his damage in this game was against Russell Westbrook, where he held the star point guard for the Thunder to just 10 points on 3 of 19 shooting, 7 turnovers, a very solid defensive effort for Darren Collison against his former UCLA teammate. We have Rudy Gay coming in tonight, 28 points on 9 of 19 shooting. He does a really good job against Kevin Durant. Holds Kevin Durant to 24 points tonight on 8 of 20 shooting. Kevin Durant turned the ball over 4 times, no assists. A very good effort by Rudy Gay on both ends of the floor. If you can cancel out what Kevin Durant brings, then you're going to have a very good chance of winning. DeMarcus Cousins, he scores 23 points tonight, but this is a very, very strange stat line. He picks up, I think it's his 19th double-double of the season, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. He has 3 blocks, but he also goes 6 of 23 from the field. He turns the ball over 6 times. And what you have to look at in this game is that DeMarcus Cousins, while his stats are kind of strange, he was dominant. He picked up fouls. I mean, again, Steven Adams had to sit. He had 3 fouls early. Nick Collison picks up 5 fouls. Perkins, he just owned Perkins in the paint.
I was loving. To speak on that, I was loving that tonight. I really want to go in and tell the truth about Perkins, but it's not even worth it. But I love the call was there. Not to necessarily say I was feeding into it, but I enjoy it. Like, especially from Perk, I enjoy it.
DeMarcus Cousins was in a great mood following the game. All smiles all around for these guys. They needed this win desperately. Tyrone Corbin needed this win desperately to sort of win over the fans. Tyrone Corbin is now 4-7 as a head coach of the Kings. He will be the head coach for the remainder of the season, so people are just going to have to deal with that fact. Hopefully, the Kings can get back on the right track. They do have quite a few games at home here. They're on a 6-game homestand. They have every opportunity to get back to their winning ways. Ben McLemore added 11 points. He had a very funny moment in this game where he actually did a 360, which he intended on dunking, but didn't have the legs to dunk. And he ends up going for a 360 lay-in. But 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting. The one thing I'll say about him tonight, he did not get a lot of opportunity. A lot of those shot attempts came late in this game. He kind of got froze out a little bit while the Kings were doing other things. Again, Cousins, Gay, and Collison all finished with over 20 points apiece tonight. Carl Landry adds 10 points off the bench on 5 of 6 shooting. Landry's having a difficult time finding his way in this up-tempo style. He looks gassed most of the game. He looks like he's only good for about 15 or 16 minutes a game in this style of offense, but he's been efficient in his minutes. So Landry's still trying to find his way. The rest of the bench, not good at all. Derek Williams, Nick Stauskas, and Ray McCallum combined for just 2 of 13 from the field off the bench. They score 6 points total. Not a good effort, again, off this bench. Tyrone Corbin's cut to a very, very tight 9-man rotation, and these guys need to start pulling their weight. We're having a lot of off nights by this group, either Derek Williams going nuts and blowing up or doing absolutely nothing. Tonight was one of those games where he did very little, and also on the defensive end, he hurt this team greatly. When Omri Caspi returns from injury, I'm not sure how we're going to see this play out, but I'm going to assume that Caspi's going to get some solid minutes because he can really run. On the Oklahoma City side, they added Dion Waiters today. They just made a deal for him on Monday. He finishes 1 of 9 from the field for 4 points, and he took a lot of very, very bad shots. He did not win any fans in that Oklahoma City locker room tonight with his play. really because he played a selfish game. Not a good look for a guy coming in and trying to make his debut. Ibaka was huge. He finished with 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 blocks. DeMarcus Cousins tonight, whether all of them were Ibaka or not, I'm not sure, but DeMarcus Cousins was blocked 8 times by this team. I'll say this, though. Jason Thompson did a really nice job on Ibaka early. Thompson finishes with 2 points and 9 rebounds, and he only plays like 17 minutes. But a solid performance by Thompson as sort of that like 6th or 7th wheel in this rotation. Who knows how it's going to play out long term, but when the Kings are playing against a big front line, Thompson's going to start. And I think when they're going up against a fast front line, you're going to see Derek Williams start. We'll see how Tyrone Corbin sort of mixes and matches this roster as they move forward. Let's get to our 3 keys for the game. The first key is suffocation. The Oklahoma City Thunder have a very, very solid defense. Tonight, though, not so great. The Kings did shoot just 39% from the field, but they shot 53% from behind the arc. Let's get to our 3 keys for the game. Suffocation. The Oklahoma City has a very solid defense. Tonight, we saw a little bit of that. They held the Kings to just 39% shooting, but the Kings shot 53% from behind the arc. They hit 10 of 19 three-pointers, and they were actually pretty solid and efficient offensively. Where the Kings really, really own this game is that they shot 28 free throw attempts, and that's because the Kings were the aggressor. And Oklahoma City, they really had no answer for Cousins in the post. All they could do was foul him, although his field goals didn't look great. His field goal percentage doesn't look great. It doesn't matter. He was getting to the line, knocking down his free throws. A very solid effort by the Kings against a solid defense. Now, on the Kings' defensive side, the Kings held Oklahoma City, a very good offensive team, to just 33% from the field, 9 of 30 from behind the arc. They turned the ball over 24 times. 12 of those turnovers came on steals, and I know at least 3 other turnovers came on charges where DeMarcus Cousins stood his ground in the post and picked up charges against driving Oklahoma City Thunder players. Our second key to this game is Rudy Gay versus Kevin Durant, and the Sacramento Kings won this battle, no questions asked. If you can match Kevin Durant throw for throw, which is exactly what Rudy Gay did tonight, then you're going to win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is such an offensive weapon. Tonight, Rudy Gay finishes 28 points and 9 rebounds. Kevin Durant, 24 points and 9 rebounds. Durant turned the ball over 4 times. Rudy Gay just 2. One shot, 9 of 19 from the field. That's Rudy Gay. Durant shoots 8 of 20 from the field. Not a great night for Kevin Durant. He was bothered all night long, and the Kings' aggressive style really, it hurt him. And we saw good rotations. We see this team in the past, DeMarcus Cousins likes to say we're playing on a string. Tonight we saw a lot of that. DeMarcus Cousins did a very good job of sort of bringing this defense along with him. They were rotating. They were helping each other. Cousins had some nice blocks. Overall, they really played well as a unit. Let's get to our third key to the game. I think a lot of people were shocked to see 16,000 folks show up in Sacramento. This has been a long, long couple of weeks for Kings fans. They are not happy about the direction of this team, what's happened over the course of the last couple of weeks in Sacramento. Tonight, the Kings fans showed up. They showed up in force. They were loud. They were engaged, and the Kings delivered for them. So a pretty solid all-around effort by the Kings fans, which is kind of surprising, especially considering the circumstances here in Sacramento. Our MVP of this game, I've got to go with Darren Collison. Collison, again, 24.7 assists, but where he really does his damage is against Russell Westbrook. Westbrook, 10 points, 3 of 19 shooting, 7 turnovers. He owned Russell Westbrook tonight, and that's exactly what the Kings needed. There were other players who had solid games, but for me, the real winner of this game was Darren Collison. Very, very good performance. All right, this is the first of 6 at home for the Kings. They'll be back on Friday night when they take on the Denver Nuggets. They've already beat the Denver Nuggets twice, and actually very big wins. They come back on Sunday against the LeBron James-less Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs have made a lot of moves over the last couple of days, and we'll see a very different roster for the Cavs. But the Kings have to take care of their business at home. If they have any interest in getting back to 500, they are now 15-20 on the season. you got an opportunity here, especially early in this homestand. It gets a little more difficult. We've got Dallas, we've got the Heat, and we've got the Clippers coming in later this week in this long, stretched out homestand. So I am James Ham. You've been watching the Cowbell Kingdom postgame show. Thanks for tuning in.